Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Rai Radio. My name is Sailor Cooper. And what is your name? Hello? Hello? My name is Sailor Cooper. Welcome to another episode of Rai Radio. Sorry, we're trying to get my co-host on the line. Having some problems here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Alright. It's Sailor Cooper, and your name is?
My name's Tyler Evans.
Alright. Well, it's great to be here on another show tonight. So tonight, our topic is going to be technology. We're going to talk about how technology has evolved over the years and how it has helped us blind people. Also, if you have any questions, if you would like to call in, my co-host, what's the phone number for people to call in?
It is 713-494-7001.
Oh, thank you. Alright, so first of all, let's start off talking about technology. Over the years, I've seen technology come from a long way. Let's think back, even in the old days. Imagine what it was like living without electricity, even.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine.
Back in the day, I think what they had was they had telegraphs and stuff.
Yes.
And like letters.
Yeah.
And many of those would be like basically hand delivered.
Yes.
Like by horse and stuff.
Yeah, people would deliver things by horse. Also, people would send, when there were no phones, people would send smoke signals. And also, when you had to send the letters, you would have to send stuff in the mail, and it would take days to get there. And imagine how long it would take for the letter to get back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays...
What do you mean by smoke?
I've been told people would send, like, some kind of smoke signals. I'm not sure what it was, but if any callers know what I'm talking about, if you want to call in, you can clarify it with us. You could tell us, but basically when people would send letters, it would take days for the letter to come in and get a response back.
Well, you know, cars also a technology.
Cars, yeah.
But back in the day, they didn't have cars. You could ride by horse.
Yeah, people had to.
Or by boat.
People had to ride by horses and camels, and they ride in wagons, and it would take days to get to a destination. Like you know how when, for instance, when Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492, imagine how long it took him, to paddle in a boat to get on, to travel on the ocean, Yeah. Hello?
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Hello?
You were cutting out a little bit.
Yeah. Imagine when Christopher Columbus discovered America, how long it took him to travel around, Hello? 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 Hey, we're back. So you can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, imagine how long it took Christopher Columbus, to travel around when he discovered America,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had to travel by boat.
Yeah, they did.
And you remember learning about sailboats?
Yes. Yes, I do.
And it was by wind.
It was all by wind, and now we have motors.
Mm-hmm. Man, I tell you what, airplanes is another good technology that we rely on.
Because airplanes travel fast, and we can get to places really fast,
And spaceships.
Woo, spaceships, yes.
I mean, think about it.
Because
we can travel faster than a bullet.
Because the spaceship, Neil Armstrong was able to touch the moon in 1969.
A lot of people think, well, how could that have been in 1969 when computers weren't even really around?
I know, how could that have been?
Some people say that it was all fake, that it was just set up that way to make us look good.
Yeah.
That's what some people claim, but I don't know if I believe that.
Alright, so, tell me, Tyler, you growing up, how have you seen technology change your life?
Oh, wow. Well, a long time ago, we used to have Windows 95, and that was rather different than what we have now with Windows. Like, they didn't have JAWS back then.
No.
So it was kind of you just had to rely on people to read stuff to you on your computer. They did have, a while, whenever I was young, we had something called the Braille and Speak, where it didn't have a Braille display on it. It was all just like a big Braille writer, and it talked, but it only talked in a robotic voice. You didn't really have many options. You could change the pitch and volume of the voice. And I think you might have been able to change like the person, but not really.
But other than
Now
that,
we have it.
other than that, it just had one voice.
Right, nowadays we have what's called the Braille Note, and you can hook it to a Braille display, and you can change the voice, and it sounds more like JAWS.
It sure does.
Which is, by the way, if anyone doesn't know, JAWS for Windows is a screen reader that we blind people use, which helps us to use the internet on our computer. Which, by the way, JAWS actually stands for Job Access with Speech. It's actually an acronym.
Yeah, it's an acronym.
And it came out
95.
sometime. Do what?
It actually did come out in 95.
Oh, okay. Well, when I grew up, I guess I didn't really have a whole lot of access to it until around early 2000s.
Wow. Me too.
Give or take. And there's also another technology that's really cool called Talking Typer, and you can actually test your typing to see how many minutes you can type and stuff.
Absolutely.
And it gives you like phrases to try to repeat, to see if you can type them well.
Yes, I even used Talking Typer once too. When I was growing up, I also used a program that's called ZoomText. Which it's like JAWS, but except it magnifies the screen too. Because I do have a little bit of vision in my eye, in my right eye. But ZoomText wasn't as helpful to me as JAWS was, because ZoomText wouldn't read everything, where JAWS would, and because I could see the screen, but just over time, just my eyes would get too tired. And that's why I found JAWS so much more helpful to me.
Well, there's also another program. It's now actually equipped with every Windows computer. It's built into it. It's called Narrator.
How good is Narrator?
Sure. It's pretty good. I've used it before. It's not as good as JAWS, but it is okay.
Yeah, I like JAWS a lot better.
Have you ever used Narrator before?
Yes, I have, but it's not that good.
It's okay. Like, it'll help you with basic stuff.
Yes.
And you can use it. Like, if that's what you want to use as your voice, you can use it.
Yeah, and now we actually have what's called we have VoiceOver, which allows us to use the iPhones. Thanks to VoiceOver, we can use the iPhones to read our stuff. And now we have even what's called Open Book, KNFB Reader, Seeing AI. We have so many apps that can help us read our mail, and where we don't have to access, we don't have to have assistance. We can read our own private mail individually. And there's even accessible voting machines.
I've used it before.
You should have.
It's really cool. You put earphones in. They're earphones that are at the station. You turn a wheel and you just select, and that's it.
Yeah, and you select, and
it tells you who you're voting for, like on the deal, and you can even write in a candidate too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a feature where I think you can write in a candidate on the screen. You can type in who you want.
Yes, I've done that. I've done that before. Yes, I have. I've done it before.
Wait, you wrote in a candidate for election?
No, I believe I used the voting wheel.
Yeah, you're familiar with the wheel on the voting machine, right? You turn it.
Oh yes, I am.
And then there's like another button where you can toggle between candidates.
Yes.
And stuff. And then once you're done, I guess you just press some button on the right or something.
Right.
And there you go.
Exactly. And
I think it's really cool.
And of course, not only there's JAWS, there's Braille displays, which help us read stuff, which is very good too.
Well, you can hook that up to your computer too.
And
really cool.
And to an iPhone as well.
Yeah. I haven't really done that because I haven't really had the need for it.
Yeah.
Did you know that Android uses TalkBack?
Yes. You see, I've never used Android before.
I've played with an Android. It's okay, but I think that iPhone's layout of their software is more superior.
Agreeable. They say iPhone is definitely the very, very best for blind people, because I think it has a wider selection of apps and accessibility features.
Well, what's really cool is as soon as you get it out of its box, you can turn VoiceOver immediately. By either, like, let's say on the new iPhone 10 or whatever, you tap the side button 3 times and turn VoiceOver on, whereas the older ones, you turn the home button on.
Right, that's great, yeah.
And you don't have to have the home button on the iPhone to use it efficiently either.
No, you don't.
All you have to do is, if you want to go to the home menu, you swipe from the bottom of the screen upwards a little bit until you feel a vibration, like a certain vibration, and then you're at the home menu.
Absolutely.
And those aren't the issues that I have with the new iPhones. The one issue I have with the new iPhone, like 2 issues. 1, it's too costly, and 2, it's too big.
It is. It's definitely very, very big.
Now, what I think they're going to do is, I think Apple is going to create another iPhone that's smaller, but it's like the X.
Because they just discontinued the SE.
Right, which is the 6S and the 5.
Right.
But I'm pretty certain they're either going to bring it back to the SE at some point, or they're reintroduce it, or they're probably going to create an alternative, like a 7.
They make a version of the X, but it's a smaller phone.
Right. See, and there may not be a headphone jack. A lot of people are like, oh, I miss my headphone jack. But you can actually buy an iPhone case that has a headphone jack.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you
You
know?
can buy an iPhone because I've researched it.
What cases have the headphone jacks?
They have iPhone 7, 8, and 10 cases that have a headphone jack that once you put the phone in its case, you can charge it and use headphones.
Oh, wow.
And it has a battery. Like the case has a battery in it.
Wow.
It's really neat.
Yes.
Now, I don't know how that would fit in your pocket, but it might.
Yeah, it might.
I don't know. I've never seen an iPhone X, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But I would love to explore one. That'd be really neat.
It would, yeah. Now, of course, there's many more technologies out there that's helping us. There's been a big discussion on the autonomous vehicles, on cars, self-driving cars. I've heard people have been testing a lot of those cars to see if they're safe, and they're not approved yet, but hopefully they will. But imagine you having a car, being able to drive yourself everywhere, you know?
Yeah, but at the same time, why do you need those when you can utilize public transportation?
Well,
Like Lyft, Uber, cabs.
you won't need to use
Of course,
these.
if you live in the country, that might be a problem, but
Well, with an autonomous vehicle, you won't need to rely on public transportation anymore, you know?
right. But I'm still a little bit wary about that because you got to remember it's a computer and they do malfunction.
Right.
So I don't know. I just don't know if I trust a vehicle to drive me.
Right.
I just don't know. I mean, I heard that Apple is possibly going to be making a car like in 2023 or something.
Wow.
I don't know. I read somewhere about that,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Well,
I think I'm fine with doing what I've been doing with transportation stuff, having people take me places or whatever.
yeah. Well,
I did hear. Speaking of a car, I did hear that there is a car where it's not autonomous, but it's so accessible that a blind person would be able to drive it. They would actually be in full control of the car and they would drive it.
how?
Well, there's sensors. There's like these vibrations sensors, and there's many things within the car that help the driver know where they're going and know where
It like it'll tap you, you feel vibrating when you should turn, you know?
Yeah, and so you're actually driving.
Yes.
Now that vehicle I would trust a little bit more, but even then, I'm still very worried about it because you got to remember it's technology and it's not perfect.
Yeah.
So we got to really, be careful because accidents can happen.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Whereas with a person, if you trust a person, it's an actual person, and it's,
Oh, yes.
But even then, accidents can happen anytime, but still, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you were talking about OpenBook.
Yeah, I had
people
OpenBook a
don't-
long time ago, yes.
A lot of people don't realize, like, a lot of sighted people, they're like, okay, what is OpenBook? Well, basically, OpenBook is a program where you can put a printed piece of paper on a scanner that's hooked to your computer, and you
Absolutely.
press scan, and it'll read the printed material to you. But it'll not just read it to you, it'll actually put the printed material inside of a document window.
Yes.
And you can edit that text as well.
You definitely can, yes.
It's really neat. and a lot of people aren't really familiar with KNFB. That's another technology. It's like OpenBook, but it's for the iPhone, and you have to pay like what $99 for it or something. And you take a picture of a printed item, and it'll read it to you.
Yes, and I have KNFB Reader on Seeing AI and Seeing AI on my phone too.
I've tried using Seeing AI, and for some reason, it's not really workable with me. Like, it's not super accurate at all.
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
Oh yes, I've noticed.
That it's just not really that accurate. KNFB is like super accurate, from what I hear. I've never used it. I don't know if I have the money for that yet, but I could always save up for it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think they should offer it for free, but that's just me. Like Seeing AI was free. But yeah, these are just some of the technologies that we use. Again, if any of y'all have any questions, feel free to call in at 713-494-7001.
Yeah, if you have any thoughts on the show and how we're doing, please, by all means, definitely give us a call.
Absolutely. And maybe you can talk about your technology and how it has affected you, whether you're blind or not. I mean, you don't have to be blind.
Definitely.
Sighted, you can anything. And you can talk about how it's helped you.
Yes.
You know, how it's made our lives easier, like DVDs,
yeah.
audio description.
Definitely.
You know, they have audio description. They have audio description within like iTunes and stuff.
They do, yeah, and a lot of movie theaters
Really cool.
are getting audio description as well, where we could listen to what's going on in the movies.
I wish they did that with every single movie.
I know, in every single theater. Since you're a paralegal, you should sign it into law that all theaters.
I'm not a paralegal.
Well, you were hoping to be one. You were hoping to be one.
Yeah, well, things change, you know.
These,
I could be a lobbyist for a legislature.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much, you know, I'm not a lobbyist, but you know what I mean.
Right.
I could be just someone who calls my legislature and let them know, hey. But at the same time, you know, you can't force companies to
Yeah.
do everything. But
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway.
Well, anything else you want to talk about?
Let's see. The crock pot. That's another good technology that a lot of blind people can use to help them cook. Let's say that they don't really like, you know, cooking in the oven and stuff because, you know, they just want to cook slowly and they want to cook good food slowly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you, I know you don't like cooking.
Not really. I don't know. I just don't.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm pretty sure I would like to use a crock pot. And a crock pot is basically a slow cooker, and a lot of people know about that.
Right.
And that's a technology that blind people can use, too.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Let's see. We talked about the Braille Note. We talked about the iPhone JAWS, OpenBook. What else have we? I think isn't there another scanning product that blind people can use on their computer? It's not OpenBook. It's something else.
Voiceover response. I'm on. Can I custom cancel?
Yes.
iPhone. Rodney.
Wait, we have a caller coming in.
Send to voice message.
All right.
Hold and accept. Button. Hold and accept. Hold. Rodney. Mute. Keypad. FaceTime. Contact. And call. Hide. Hide. And 0. Stop 9. 8.
Hello, Lala Radio.
Button. Hide. Type Tyler Evans. Hold. Select keypad. Select add call. FaceTime vid contact. End call. End call. Contact.
Hello, Lala Radio.
FaceTime video. Add call. Selected. Audio. Selected. Rodney. Remind me. iPhone. Rodney. iPhone. Remind. End and send to voicemail. End and accept. Button. Send to message. Hold and accept.
Hello, Lala Radio. Hello, Lala Radio.
Rodney. Hold. Tyler Evans. Hold. Rodney. 0. Mute. keypad. Selected. Audio.
Tyler?
Merge calls. Button.
Good. I'm doing great. How y'all doing?
Voiceover off.
You're doing. I'm enjoying your show talking about technology and the crock pot. And I actually was. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I think I need to not listen to myself on the.
Right, because it's delayed. Yes.
It's delayed. Yeah, that gets a little bit confusing. But I was listening to your technology, and I was about the crock pot, and actually that is a really good piece of equipment. I was with Megan today, and we had to run some errands and go to see her scan of her new little baby, and she was putting things in the crock pot as well.
Oh yeah.
So that's
That's really cool.
oh, she made a delicious dinner and stayed on there for 5 hours, and you don't have to worry about burning anything or anything on the stove. That turned out really great. By the time we got home, it was just a delicious meal.
That's great. Yeah.
What's really cool about the crock pot? You can actually cook on the road. You can go camping and cook if you have the battery ones.
I've never heard of that one.
They have battery operated crock pots, I think.
Oh, wow. Oh, that would be really cool. I guess maybe they have the one you can plug into your, with the little extension that will plug into your lighter. They probably have those, too, just kind of like the little refrigerators that you can put in your car that do that. Well, that's
so if you're on the road, if you're in an RV for a couple of weeks, you can still cook.
That would be very nice. I came in late on the show because I was busy doing some work, and I thought, oh my goodness, the show's on. So I turned on a little, but I think I missed a part of it, so I didn't get to hear all the technology.
Yes.
Voiceover on. Houston. 1-7-1-3-4-9-6-8-9-3-5. Voiceover on.
Listen to it on your own time,
Definitely. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, and I did do that.
Absolutely.
In fact, the other day I didn't make it to your show in time. I caught the tail end of it again, and I went back and listened to it. The one with the on the heroes in 9/11. So that was a really nice show.
Oh yeah. That's,
Thank you.
Always good to remember.
Well, I appreciate what y'all are doing. It's very nice to get on and listen to you. So y'all are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
All right. I'll continue listening. Y'all have a good evening.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right.
That was your mom, right?
No, that was my aunt.
Oh, your aunt. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, also, have you ever used the Victor Reader growing up?
No.
No?
No, I've heard of it. I'm not really familiar with it, and I've never really had any need for it. Now, I did use something. One time, I used to get Daisy books on CD, I think.
Yeah.
Like, there was some Daisy player I used to carry around with me. It looks a lot like a CD player, and you can carry it with you, and it's portable and everything.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but now you can get all your Daisy stuff digital.
Yes, you can.
A lot of people, there's actually a website called Bookshare.org, and you can get any book you want. If you're in college, you can get any book you want for free because the Office of Special Education Program has funding through the Department of Education.
They sponsor it, yeah. And also there's Learning,
Now,
there's Learning Ally, NLS.
I've used that before too.
Yeah.
Learning Ally used to be recording for the blind and dyslexic.
Right.
Now, going back to iPhones, there's actually an app. It used to be called iBooks, but now it's just called Books.
Yep.
And you can get any audio book you want on your phone, like anything.
Anything, yeah, wow.
Now, obviously, you have to pay for it, but that's,
Yeah.
Now, if you have an organization that sponsors your books through, books through the Apple organization would pay for it.
Right.
And there might be organizations that might help with it. But I was looking on Apple Books, and I found a lot of books from a good host that I like listening to. His name's Mark Levin.
He's a funny talk show host.
Oh, yeah, and he has a book called Liberty and Tyranny. You ought to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to read all of it. I've read a little bit, but
Yeah.
just a little bits of it. I'm thinking about buying it sometime next month on Apple Books,
Yeah.
the audio version, and listening to it.
That's great. Wait, you can get audiobooks from
Really
Apple
good
Books too? I didn't know you could.
Yes, you can.
Wow.
Voiceover on Fort Lauderdale. F1. 954.
Wait, we have another call coming here. One second.
Remind and send to voice message.
All right.
Hold and accept. Hold and selected. Merge.
Hello.
Mute. Hold. 1. Zip mute. Keypad selected. Merge call.
Hello.
Merge call.
Hello, Rai Radio.
Voiceover off.
Hey, this is Pamela. How are you?
Hi, Pamela. My name is Sailor Cooper. Thanks for calling in to Rai Radio. I'm doing great. Glad you're listening to my show.
Thank you.
Tell me, how has technology changed your life?
Well, what I was listening to is when y'all were just talking about audio books. Because I listen to audio books every single day when I
Oh, cool.
You listen to audiobooks every single day? Hello, Pamela.
Can you hear us?
Pamela, are you there? We lost her. We need to call her. She'll call back. So, wait. So, Apple has audiobooks?
Yes, they do.
Oh, wow.
Get any book you want on audio.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much. I don't know about any book, but close. Unknown caller. I was just exploring the other
Voiceover
day.
on 1.
The iPhone.
9.
Wait, she's calling
Remind
back.
me. Fort Lauderdale. Remind me. And
Okay,
send to
good.
voicemail. Message. Hold and accept. Hold and swap. Merge calls. Swap. Merge calls. Merge calls.
Hello, Rai Radio.
Voiceover off.
yes, it's Pamela calling back.
Yes, you're back. We lost you. So, tell me, how has technology changed your life?
How is technology? It's taking up a lot more time than I really would like it to take up.
Oh, really?
Between having to deal with computer issues, and I just got a new computer, and I've already had to send one back. Just got another one. They're coming out tomorrow, where I'm staying in Houston. Coming out tomorrow to change software and put in a new hard drive. So
Wow.
it takes up many hours. I know. So would I love to get rid of technology? Absolutely. But I'm in the space industry, and today the helicopters, they have a fly-by-wire. Airplanes, of course, have been fly-by-wire for years. So technology is huge, but that doesn't mean I have to enjoy it all the time it takes.
It is vital, but it can give us pain sometimes. I'll agree with that.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. So, anyway, I just wanted to call in, yes, as I was saying earlier when I was listening about the audio books on where you can get them and how phenomenal they are, and how I definitely feel, not only for you guys, for people that have a reading problem with their eyes, but for people, too, that are in nursing homes, how audiobooks would definitely help them that don't read as often as easily, because I can't read as well as I used to could read. So, due to my eyesight. So, yeah, I just think the audiobooks are the greatest thing in technology that has ever come to mankind.
Oh, yes.
It's
Oh,
as good
yeah.
as sliced bread.
And Braille's
So-
another good thing for people without sight.
What is? I'm sorry?
Braille.
Braille, yes. Yes. Well, Braille's been...
Because you don't
now
even need light to read. You
No.
don't even need light to read Braille. It's really neat.
You feel the dots.
Well, no, and I agree with that. It's just today, though, do they produce as many books in Braille as they do in audio?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do.
They do?
But it does take up more space.
Right. I'd rather just do the audio than Braille.
Yeah,
With the
they say Braille is old fashioned nowadays, which a lot of people still disagree in a way, you know.
Well, it's
That's why
like
I
with
use it.
people. I was going to say, it's like with people writing, their writing skills, their penmanship has gone. They don't even teach that anymore, and yet cursive writing has been with us for years and years. And so, whatever new is coming out in technology, that starts eliminating things that I definitely believe are very, very important, and which Braille is. I mean, elevators have Braille. I mean, so many things when you're out and about.
Yes,
there's
yes.
Braille.
Oh, yeah. ATMs have Braille.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah, ladies' bathrooms. I mean, so much. So I think
Yeah.
Braille is very, very, very important. And that
Right.
would definitely
Oh, yeah.
be something a child would need to learn from the beginning. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I learned Braille a long time ago.
Yes. Well, how old are you today?
I was 27.
Okay, so when did you when did you learn Braille?
5, 6, 7 years old.
Okay.
So
When a child learns
I've
to read.
learned. I'm like 20 years experienced in Braille.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that you would need that, at least that, in order to, be very proficient. Isn't Braille fairly tough because it's full words?
Do what?
Is Braille hard to learn?
Was it hard?
Yes.
Of course, at first it was a little bit, but
Me too, but I learned it. I know a lot of Braille
And
now.
there's- and what's interesting about Braille is you have what's called grade 2 Braille, which is the normal Braille that most blind people use, where a lot of words are contracted, but they spell out the printed words. Like a W, for example, spells out the word will in Braille.
Okay.
And then you have like what's called the 6 dot cell. You have six dots that make up the Braille cell, and that's what makes up different words in Braille.
Okay.
So, yeah. So like, I don't know, if you wanted to write out the word FOR, you would just put dots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all together.
Wow.
In Braille. Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, it would be kind of. We would have to do like another show on that.
Oh yes, definitely.
To go into, because there's a lot of details
There is, yeah.
with Braille. That would be awesome. A little bit. It's not technical. It's technical for some people.
It is.
Well, I
Maybe
think it was just like a child's reading. Children start reading when they're little, and I would think that's the same with Braille. I mean, the younger you are when you learn it, the more proficient you're going to be. Definitely.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Well, I just
But it's
wanted
just
to put my
technical.
I just wanted to put my 2 cents in on how great audiobooks are, and I do know that it's about, I just heard it, $4.55 a month. You can get a subscription to audiobooks over your telephone, the internet service. So, guys, thank you. Thank you for all the information you're relaying tonight. It's great.
There's also another website. There's another website called Audible.com.
I'm writing them down.
And that's actually that's actually been on TV,
Okay.
that website.
And how
You
much
can download.
is that fairly expensive, or is it reasonable?
It should be affordable. I
Alright.
think you pay for each audio book.
Okay.
Or I think you can subscribe to something for like $55 a year or something.
Oh, that's reasonable. Yeah, because
Yeah,
some of them I've been
$4.94
seeing are
$54 a month.
$27 a month, $20 to $30 a month,
Yes.
which
But,
actually is not that expensive. But I go through normally 3 books a week.
Wow. You love reading books.
I do love those
Okay.
books. Absolutely. They just
I
take
like
up-
reading.
You like sitting down and taking time to read. It's just Yeah, I just listen as I'm doing things, as I'm walking the dog. I mean, it just brings me great pleasure to listen. I'm very fortunate.
Fictional books are good. Non-fictional is pretty good. Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
And
just
some
books.
Some audiobooks even have sound and dramatized sound within their stories. I really like that.
Yeah, well, those are the ones you normally get from the library, too, because they have a lot at the library that will have that.
I like the dramatized story.
Yes.
Where it's actually sound.
I know, I
The
agree.
story. It's like a movie.
Yes, it is a movie. It's
Yeah,
a movie with words.
I also once had a dramatized audio Bible that I would listen to as well. Sometimes I like nonfiction books. I like motivational books. I like hearing like people's testimonies. Like, for instance, there's a book. There's a couple of books by this author who he was born with no legs. No arms or legs, and his name is Nick Vujicic, and he tells a story about what it was like growing up. He never dreamed that he was gonna live a normal life. He was also bullied. He went through he went through some deep depression. Almost tried to end his life a couple times. And now he is one of the world's most well-known motivational speakers out there, and he's just.
Enough to see him twice.
You saw him?
Yes,
Where?
twice. Down in Fort Lauderdale.
He was in Fort Lauderdale. Oh wow!
Well, he normally goes to quite a few of the churches. So he speaks at many churches.
Yes, he does.
And that's where he gets his audiences, yes. He's phenomenal.
He is.
And you're right, Sailor. It's amazing.
He is, and so that gives that gives people hope. Right there, you know, any you struggling out there, hey, he can make it in life. So can you.
I agree.
Yeah.
That man is a miracle. He's a true miracle.
What's his name?
How do you say it, Sailor?
Nick Vujicic.
Ah, okay. I bet you he's a.
If you go on, wait, if you go online and just literally put in motivational speaker, no arms, no legs, he will come up immediately.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing man.
I truly believe that people with disabilities are really inspiring to a lot of people. And not only that, I believe everyone has a story to tell.
I agree.
And they should tell it, whether it's through their actions or, face-to-face with audiences or whatever. Just every day living your life is telling your story,
Well, I like the word challenging. When a person has challenges. Because
To me, it's not a disability. It's an
challenge.
ability.
Yes, it's an ability.
Exactly.
You're right.
To me, there's no such thing as a disability. It's not a disability. It's just you being you, and that's how God has made you.
It's a characteristic.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yes, it's a characteristic that you have. It's like, hey, your eyes are brown. You're this tall. You're
In color, so.
yeah.
And it's what you do with it and how you help another human being, like you guys, being on the radio, talking about what a person can do.
Voiceover on. Your video.
That has
Your
been-
tab center of screen. And your video. Front facing. Your video.
Yeah, right.
Your video. William Gray's video. Voiceover on.
That's about his disability law, but that's
Yeah, under the law, they have to define it. Under the law, they have to define that stuff as disability. Like, I guess for like discrimination purposes,
Right. That's it. Other than that, it's not really. To me, I don't consider it a disability. I just consider it something that you just deal with.
Right. Well, you have the ability. The great part about a person that has challenges is they're able to teach others. And that's one thing that's so important, is that you guys get out and help other people with their lives, make them look at themselves. And so you give to the world on a daily basis.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
The way I see it, it's God doing all the work. It's not us. I mean, He's just equipping us. But the way I see it is God is at work doing things magnificently. It's all about Him and getting Him the glory. You know, that's the way I see it. I mean, we are mere human, you know. But ultimately, the Lord is in control, and He's the one changing lives.
I just think it's such a miracle when somebody really looks at even someone's wrist and all the little bones that are part of a wrist. And I mean, if you look at the human body to see how it functions, who in the world could say, I mean, where did we come from? How did we get here? We're just miracles.
I know.
Okay, gentlemen, I have got to go. I have got to get back to work. Have a very prosperous evening, and thank you. Thank you for talking with me on the way.
Thank you so much, Pamela, for calling in.
You're very welcome. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Just so you know, everyone, that was Pamela, one of my grandmother's good friends. She is part of a Roller Girls organization. She flies helicopters, and she joined us on the show tonight, and that was very good of her that she called in. Well, I guess if we don't have any calls, any other calls before we go, anything else you want to talk about tonight?
Well, I just think that we need to tell our story and not hide, and not hide behind curtains and stuff. We should just get out there and declare that we're proud to be blind, that it's just who we are.
Voiceover on iPhone.
Wait, we have one more call.
Message. Hold and accept.
One more call. 1 second.
Hold and end call. End call.
Wait.
Tyler Evans. Hold. Mom. Zip mute. Keypad. Selected. Audio. Merge calls. Button. Merge calls.
Hello, Raga Radio.
Voiceover off.
Hello, Sailor. Hello, Tyler. This is your mom, Sailor. I caught the very end of your show tonight because I've been in a meeting, but it's very, very good. And I love your guys' description of it's not a disable, it's a characteristics. And I am so very impressed with both of you guys. You're doing amazing things, and just keep doing it. It's wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And you're right, Tyler. It's God's plan. God, we give all the credit to God, and you're in good hands, right?
Right.
That's right.
And keep everybody in our prayers.
Yes.
Does amazing things. Yes. All right. Well, thank you. It was a wonderful show. The part that I heard of it. Wish I could have heard all of it, but I'll go back and listen to it later when it's not live. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Great night. Bye-bye.
Good night. All right. Well, that was the last call of the night. We had my mom call in. But anyway, yeah, it's all glory to God. We just have to, you're right, Tyler. We just have to get out there and just show ourselves and be proud of who we are. Hey, people who don't want to accept us, it's their problem, right?
The way I see it is, it's just like people's color of their skin. You can't control it, you can't change it, you can't do anything about it. It took a while for our country to finally come to grips with, the whole issue of segregation and African Americans and other minorities, including poor whites. But we finally came to realize that segregation was wrong, and desegregation is always right.
Absolutely.
And it's expanded, not civil rights. The civil rights movement didn't just expand into color of skin; it expanded into disability, like blindness and many other things.
Yeah.
And we just got to get out there and say, hey, we're not a disability, we're a characteristic, and keep pushing for more desegregation, you know?
Yes, yes.
And I think eventually our society is going to come to a point where blindness won't even be a thing anymore. Like, it'll be a thing, but it won't be, it'll be like what segregation was in the past, but now is no longer.
Absolutely.
Know. And we've come a long way. It's our society is more desegregated when it comes to blind people. There's a lot more opportunities now.
Oh, yes.
But we still got a lot of work to do.
We do.
To improve desegregation, and and it's for many other people too. Cancer patients, women, many other people.
Yeah.
Some people would argue LGBT, but that's another day. But
well, this will do it tonight for this show. Hope everyone found it informative. Always remember, it'll be archived on this website. You can go back and listen to it anytime. But anyway, hope everyone has a good night. Thanks for joining us on the podcast, and catch us next Tuesday, same time, same channel, for another podcast. Thanks so much, everyone. Good night.